Hi everyone, my name is Vern Harner. I use the pronoun they, and I'm a doctoral candidate here in the UW School of Social Work. I'm going to share some of what I do to ensure underrepresented and first-gen students have the same chances of success in my classroom. Students might be unsure what to expect, whether their access needs will be met, if they'll be misgendered, or if racist microaggressions will be challenged. There's simple things that we can do as instructors to ease these concerns and ensure all of our students can focus on the actual course content. First, we need to address each other correctly. Addressing students correctly and sharing how they can address us is one of the first things we can do to show what our class environment will be like. When I introduce myself, I let students know they can call me Vern and that I use the pronoun they. Make sure that your Zoom settings allow for students to update their names if they would so choose. On the first day of class, I ask students to share with their classmates anything about how they'd like to be addressed. So that could be a nickname, a pronoun, or something else. This can be done synchronously or on a discussion board. Second, access needs should be at the forefront of your course design. It doesn't matter how great my class activities are if my students can't access them. So I start each quarter with a welcome email that I send to my students a week before classes start. I introduce myself and the course, including how they can address me, and a little bit about my own access needs. These access needs are what we need to fully engage with a space. Sometimes we think about these as needs that only disabled people have, but it's clearer now more than ever that we all do have them. So what do your students need to access the course and your class activities? Just a working computer with internet access? Do they have uninterrupted internet access, or is a sibling or roommate using the same internet or computer? Are all of the videos you'll use captioned? If not, deaf and hard of hearing students like me, but also students in noisy environments or with auditory processing difficulties, might struggle to engage with that content. Accessibility can also have to do with the different norms in academia. Not all of our students, even graduate students, join our classrooms already familiar with all the ins and outs of academia. Take some space on your Canvas site, in your syllabus, or during the first day of class to explain things like what your office hours can be used for and where they can find additional resources. Record brief videos describing each assignment and where to find extra resources related to completing it. Third, we need to hold ourselves accountable. Accountability takes many forms, but it centers acknowledging the consequences of our words and actions and our responsibility to correct any resulting harm. We all make mistakes, but apologizing, correcting ourselves, and moving on every single time shows our students that we are committed to making our classroom spaces for underrepresented students. Addressing problematic comments in class can be set as a norm from the very first day. When talking about classroom norms, I let students know I'll be doing my best to correct or unpack problematic comments while recognizing that we're all coming from different backgrounds. Gently correcting any missteps can be effective while also not resulting in making students feel shamed. Some of my favorite phrases to use include, "Oof, I'm not so sure about that word you just used," or "I love the point you're making, but the phrase you use could be a bit sticky. Is there another way to word that?" Engaging with students around the impact of their words and actions can enhance their critical thinking, as well as signal to all students that in the class that microaggressions will not be ignored. And addressing problematic moments, whether small or large, lets your students know that you're committed to equity, inclusion, and social justice. An affirming environment that meets access needs can enable students to feel comfortable engaging in critical thought, sharing dissenting opinions, growing connections to others, and ultimately focusing more on the actual content of your course. I hope you'll continue to focus on issues of equity and justice in your classroom, and that some of the strategies I shared today are helpful.